Forensic Chemistry and Toxicology, St. Joseph College, Criminology Department, Hair and Fiber or Thread Identification. First activity was the hair and fiber identification, in which we used a specimen of human hair, animal hair, colored human hair, wig or artificial hair, and fiber from clothing, in which we secured in a sealed plastic. First step is to put the specimen in the cover slips, then drop a little amount of water, then put another cover slip above. Under the use of microscope, we have seen differences of each specimen, on how rough, spiky, and smooth is the edge of the specimen presented under the microscope adjustments. Really bands of the hair and fiber identification in criminal investigation is to identify or determine whether the hair belongs to human or animals during the conduct of investigations or in collecting evidence. Blood identification. Second activity was the blood identification that consists of four materials: the human blood, animal blood, ketchup, and red food coloring. Dry the stain and preserve it through sealed plastic. First step is to put the cloth with stain into the test tube. Label it with the type of stain: A for human blood, B for animal blood, C for ketchup, and D for the red food coloring. Add a small amount of water or H2O and stir it with a stirring rod. Put some chemical in it with a specific measurement to get the distinct color of either positive or negative result of the material. It's relevant to the crime investigation is that during the collection of evidences, it is vital to identify the differences of the four materials. Paraffin test. Our third activity was the paraffin test, in which we provide one student as a shooter and two assistants in the conduct of paraffin casting. Paraffin casting. After the firing, the shooter was casted by the melted wax using cotton, and both hand was placed above the bond paper with a label, name, and date of the conduct of the activity, and let it cool and dry. The importance of paraffin testing to the crime investigation to establish whether they are recently fired a gun and determine the presence of gunpowder to the hand of the shooter. Millage casting. The fourth activity was the millage casting, in which we bring soil, shoebox, shoe, and varnish. First step was to put the soil in the shoebox and flatten it, then step the shoe inside the shoebox to make an impression from the shoe. Then varnish the impression. After that, we mix the materials in the plaster and put it in the imprint to get the specific design of the shoe. Make it dry and put some stick above to avoid cracking when it cools. After that, we get the finished millage cast and clean it as for the preservation. Importance of millage casting in crime investigation: helps preserve evidence of shoe pattern which might be damaged or degraded over time due to weather condition or human activity at the crime scene. Arson. The fifth and last activity that we have conduct is the arson, in which we gathered barbecue stick, kerosene, and gasoline. First tip is to dip the tip of the barbecue stick into the gasoline, kerosene, and alcohol. Put it in the beaker with salt to avoid unnecessary movement during the conduct of setting it into a fire. After setting the fire, we set the timer to get the seconds on how it lightened, then identify the color of the smoke and smell of the stick with a specific element after setting it on fire.